Good morning and welcome. I have the privilege of serving this city with a group of highly dedicated council members. And I'd like to introduce Council Member Tim Herman, right there in the front row, and Council Member Bonnie Gore. Let's give them a round of applause. Vice Mayor Susan Rohan and Council Member Pauline Ricucci were not able to join us today. I'd also like to recognize a former council member that's in attendance today, John Allard. John, thank you for being here. To my fellow elected officials who traveled here from throughout the Capital Region, thank you for being here. Only by working together can we realize our collective success. Welcome to our Roseville residents and to our leaders from local government, business, education, nonprofits, and our community. And thank you to my family, especially my husband Orlando, who's in the Hawaiian shirt here in the front row. You can't miss him. Thank you, Orlando. And also my sister Jeannie Limberg is somewhere here. She's in an orange, but thank you, Jeannie, for your support as well. It is very symbolic to hold the State of the City address this morning at the Roseville Auto Mall. As the city's largest sales tax revenue generator, followed by the Galleria, the Roseville Auto Mall is an important economic engine that contributes significantly to the equality of life that our community enjoys. The tax revenues generated here help fund our police, fire, parks, and libraries, among many other city services. It took vision from our city leaders that led to the Auto Mall opening its doors in 1989 and the Galleria opening its doors in 2000. Part of the intent was to draw shoppers from outside our city boundaries whose purchases would contribute to the services and amenities that Roseville offers. Today, about 30% of our sales tax revenues come from purchases made by visitors to our community. So I want to start by thanking our businesses, residents, and visitors for the purchases that you make. Roseville has been able to become the city it is in no small part through your contributions. Thank you. And what kind of city is Roseville? We value flexibility, adaptiveness, and resiliency. This has positioned us strongly among the data crunchers and list makers who have weighed in on that this past year. At a time when public safety has dominated headlines across the country, Roseville was recently named the 21st safest city in our nation. We've experienced a 9% population increase since 2010 and still managed to maintain one of the lowest per capita crime rates compared to other cities. I thank our police department, along with our community, for your vigilance and partnership to maintain high levels of safety in our community. We were also named the 11th healthiest city in the country this summer. Factors included fitness facilities, doctors, and mental health practitioners, along with rates of smoking and obesity. Roseville launched the Capital Region's Get Fit, Get Healthy Challenge last year, where elected officials from across the region came together in Roseville to begin a year-long effort in partnership with Good Day Sacramento to highlight healthy activities in cities throughout our region. Roseville was named the 8th best city in California for young families, factoring in our public schools, affordability, and household income. Families with students in our public schools appreciate what our districts offer, including both a middle school and a high school that provide the prestigious International Baccalaureate curriculum. Our students are prepared to work in a global economy and culture. We're the 6th best digital city in the country among cities our size. It makes sense that both Consolidated Communications and AT&T are launching 1 gigabyte internet service in our area, the fastest speed available in our country. Our housing market is among the top 50 healthiest in the country, and we're on track to approve 1,000 permits for new homes this next year. And Roseville is in the top 50 most playful cities, looking at recreation activities, health, happiness, and weather. The common theme to this kind of recognition is that a healthy economy is a foundation for our community to thrive. And again, the data shows this is the case for Roseville. With our qualified workforce and strong business sector, Roseville's 3.8% unemployment rate is the 20th lowest unemployment rate among 480 California cities. Driving the employment rate is a 19% increase in job growth in Roseville over the past 5 years to 77,000 jobs. We have more jobs than we have residents in the 18 to 65 working age group, making Roseville a job center that provides employment for our region. Our workforce is ready for employment with an impressive 39% of our residents who are aged 25 and older having attained a bachelor's degree. Our business climate is noted for being among the most affordable cities to do business in the state, with a supportive climate for entrepreneurs. In fact, last month we celebrated the grand opening on Vernon Street of the Glue Factory, a business incubator for entrepreneurs that has already attracted grants and also investor funding. For the past 2 years, we held workshops in conjunction with the Chamber to help local businesses understand the process for bidding on work with the city. Businesses that come here find a qualified workforce, low operating costs, excellent schools, a range of housing options, and a stable political climate that gives them the confidence that their investment will be sound. That's why we have our fair share of growth and why our Roseville Area Chamber of Commerce does so many ribbon cuttings. Commercial investment and residential growth go hand in hand. This fiscal year, residential permits for single-family homes in Roseville increased 34%. We're anticipating a 17% increase this next year. On the non-residential side, we closed out this fiscal year with a total of $60 million in commercial investment. We expect this year to be even better with a total investment of nearly $100 million. Occupancy rates are also increasing across all business sectors in Roseville. The office sector is at 86%. Industrial space, which is at a premium in the city, is at 92%. And retail space, our strongest commercial sector, is at 96%. We have more investment on the horizon with a new healthcare campus for Kaiser Permanente on Riverside Avenue, a new headquarters campus for Adventist Health, new Sutter Medical Office buildings, a new animal care facility made possible through a partnership between the City of Roseville and the Placer SPCA, and Mercy Housing downtown with its 55 apartment homes and ground floor retail space. This past year, the opening of iFly Indoor Skydiving this month opened up, and Topgolf opened up its facility this month. We are continuing to explore the possibility of a hotel conference center. The Roseville Community Development Corporation acts as a catalyst for downtown growth. In addition to the Glue Factory, the RCDC was instrumental in the opening of both Ninja Sushi and Randy Peters Catering on Vernon Street this past year. They joined Monk's Cellar, another RCDC success story, along with restaurants, theaters, and shops that draw people to our downtown. In downtown Roseville, the city continues to transform. We'll open a new building at 316 Vernon Street that will provide a presence for Sierra College, house city offices, and provide ground floor retail space facing the Vernon Street Town Square. With Sierra College as our neighbor, we're looking forward to having students downtown and welcoming them into the evening hours. A second parking garage recently broke ground. On the horizon are new bridges over Dry Creek and a new relocated fire station. This is all part of a downtown renaissance envisioned more than a decade ago by a dedicated group of community leaders along with city staff. We look forward to having a presence from Warwick University in Roseville as well, as it anticipates offering 2 graduate programs in 2018. Longer term, it plans to open a co-campus west of Roseville that will expand its presence beyond the United Kingdom. For details about how our city is doing as an organization, I'd like to invite our city manager, Rob Jensen, to join me on stage. Rob has worked for the city of Roseville for the past 25 years. When he was Public Works Director, he played an integral role in the development of the majority of the city. He also served as Assistant City Manager and last year as Acting City Manager. The City Council appointed him as our City Manager on January 1st. We're so pleased to have Rob running the day-to-day operations of our city. Please join me in welcoming Rob Jensen.
Well, thank you, Carol. It's my pleasure to serve this city where I've spent my career and I've raised my family. Our city's in good shape. We're the only full-service city in the capital region, meaning we provide the full range of municipal services, including electricity, water, parks, libraries, public works, police, and fire. We have a general fund budget of $140 million and an overall budget of nearly $500 million. I'm very happy to report that the city maintains a bond rating of AA+ from Standard & Poor's, which is uncommonly strong for a California municipality of our size. Our city council has adopted policies that will allow us to maintain this market confidence into the future. We have an award-winning finance department and a chief financial officer, Jay Panzica, who was recently named CFO of the Year for large public agencies by the Sacramento Business Journal, so congratulations to Jay. This past year, our general fund revenues increased by 1.7%, and our expenditures grew by 2%. Even with that, we were able to balance our budget without dipping into our reserves for the second consecutive year. It's a balance that we're really keeping a close eye on. Public safety remains a top priority for our council, and this is reflected in this year's budget, which allocated 69% of our sales and property tax revenues directly to police and fire services. This past year, our fire department was reaccredited by the Center for Public Safety Excellence, and our police department is completing a staffing analysis that will help us determine resources we need to maintain the safety levels that our community expects. We've been working hard to remain fiscally sound, but challenges still remain, and we have some catching up to do. In order to close our budget gap during the recession, we underfunded several operational areas, including facility maintenance, and those areas now need attention. In addition, we continue to face unfunded state mandates along with continued declines in gas tax revenues. Towards this end, our staff has really done a phenomenal job in cutting costs and controlling spending. And the City Council is focused on adopting policies to fund our reserves, slow the increase of labor costs, and maximize our return on investments. With these efforts underway, we're committed to doing all we can to remain on steady financial footing because the vision we share for this city as we continue to plan for the future. Our council recently approved the Campus Oaks Master Plan, which provides a reinvestment in an existing employment center and new housing choices for our residents. Also approved this past year is the Amarusa Ranch Specific Plan, which will include 2,100 new homes and additional job growth along the future Placer Parkway. With all this development on the horizon, the question of water supply is always front and center, especially during years of drought. The city has always planned conservatively to ensure that new growth brings additional water supplies for itself and for the rest of the city. This further bolsters our collective reliability in a responsible, sustainable, and economically beneficial manner. New development plays an important role in our water strategy by helping to fund infrastructure that allows us to obtain, share, and store water. Our water strategy involves diversification of our water supplies. In addition to our normal water supply at Folsom Reservoir, we use recycled water where we can to offset drinking water supplies. The more recycled water we use for parks and landscape irrigation, the more drinking water that we save. Our wastewater utility was selected by a group including the National Association of Clean Water Agencies and the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency as one of the top 61 wastewater utilities in the United States, Canada, and Denmark. Sound practices and effective management models were key criteria, and we're very proud of this recognition. So at this point, I'd like to turn it back over to Mayor Garcia, who also serves as the chair of the Northern California Power Agency, to talk about the city of Roseville's Roseville Electric Utility.
Thanks, Rob. Our Roseville Electric Utility continues to be a key factor for our economic development efforts. Low rates and reliability are what draw businesses to Roseville. The utility's innovative programs and outstanding customer service position the city well and help it meet customers' expectations. In fact, the Solar Electric Power Association has commended our efforts, and we rank 6th nationally for having the highest per capita number of solar homes. In 2015, we ranked 3rd in California for solar installations, behind the powerhouses of SMUD and Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. Roseville Electric Utility recently launched its Trusted Solar Advisor program, offering customers an online tool to help them make the solar choice that is right for them. In addition to putting rooftop solar on city facilities, we created the award-winning Best Homes program, which provided rebates to builders who integrated rooftop solar into new home construction. Because of this program, nearly 5% of our customers have rooftop solar. It's not only homes, but businesses too that are going solar. In fact, as John L. Sullivan had said, Roseville Toyota and John L. Sullivan's Chevrolet are installing $5.5 million worth of solar and energy efficiency upgrades. They were financed through Placer County's Empower program, which adds payment for these upgrades to the property tax bill. Upgrades include LED lighting, cool roof, HVAC, and solar, and make this installation one of the largest in the state using this type of financing. And finally, Roseville Electric has embarked on building a community solar project, which will further expand our customers' opportunity to participate in solar, particularly for those in apartments or with rooftops that have an obstructed orientation to the sun. We approach industry changes with innovation and our community's best interests at heart. It's that same approach that we take when faced with challenges. One of the biggest challenges facing our region is traffic. It's something that our council members and staff hear about regularly, and something we've seen becoming an increasing issue on our highways and roadways. Growth is one way that improvements are funded, but it takes time. State and federal funding and gas taxes that used to play a bigger role have either disappeared or diminished, leaving us in the position of either waiting for something to happen or making it happen ourselves. It's a pivotal decision that Placer County voters are being asked to make this fall, as the question of raising the sales tax a half cent will be decided. The answer will determine how long we will sit in traffic. We've overcome challenges before, and we will do so again. Roseville is the kind of city and community that assumes a leadership role in addressing important issues, and we have a track record of success to stand on. I've had the privilege to serve on this city council for the past 10 years. It's likely been one of the most transformative periods in our society, judging by some interesting facts and statistics. Consider that 10 years ago, Facebook had 12 million users. The majority of us here today hadn't even heard of it, and today it has 1.7 billion users. 10 years ago, Amazon had not yet launched the Kindle, and today you can download books electronically in our city libraries. 10 years ago, iPhones had not yet been introduced. We were using Blackberries and flip phones and just starting to text. Today, we send text alerts to citizens, develop mobile versions of our websites, and are on version 7 of the iPhone. In the same period, our city has experienced remarkable changes and new beginnings of our own. We've witnessed the vision of city councils, both past and present, become reality. We opened the new Roseville Energy Park to strengthen reliability for our Roseville Electric customers. We opened 2 new fire stations. the Martha Riley Library, our Utility Exploration Center, the Mike Shelato Indoor Pool, a new facility for the Maidu Museum and Historic Site, our first downtown parking garage, the Vernon Street Town Square, a new downtown roundabout, and a dozen new parks. We extended our city boundaries, approved new specific plans, extended and connected bike trails, started offering recycled water to residents and businesses, expanded transit service, connected our traffic signals fiber optically, and opened a flyover and tunnel to improve traffic flow at Douglas and Sunrise intersection. We launched the Roseville Community Development Corporation, initiated a new city council law and regulation committee, started an open data portal, began producing electronic newsletters, and established a strong social media presence that informs and engages with our community. Many of you may remember our city's centennial celebration in 2009. With support from Union Pacific, we entered a float in the 2009 Road Parade to kick off our city's 100th anniversary, and we ended up winning the governor's trophy. All of this was accomplished with the backdrop of the Great Recession and significant changes in technology, legislation, and regulation that profoundly affect the way that we serve our community. Amidst the changes, deep roots in our community help us remain connected. The Roseville Coalition of Neighborhood Associations is one of our community building blocks, and it will be celebrating its 20th anniversary next year. Arcona recently achieved an all-time high of 20 active neighborhood associations and provides an important way to connect neighbors with each other and to also interact with the city, county, and school districts on a variety of topics. Congratulations on nearly 2 decades of making a difference in our community. Also making a difference in celebrating its 20th anniversary is a local nonprofit on a mission of inclusiveness. A Touch of Understanding has a profound impact in our region, providing disability awareness programs designed to educate a new generation to understand the challenges associated with disabilities and to accept and respect all individuals. They support the kind of inclusive community that we strive to be. Our city is partnering with A Touch of Understanding this fall to provide several workshops for city staff to help them become even more attuned to the diverse range of needs and abilities among the people we serve. Helping us understand where we came from as a city is the Roseville Historical Society, which is celebrating a grand opening of the Carnegie Museum next month. The Carnegie, which is on the National Register of Historic Places, is the home of Roseville's first permanent library that was constructed in 1912. With a mission to preserve and promote the history of Roseville, it helps us appreciate the legacy we've inherited from those who came before us. In close, I'm grateful for this opportunity to let you know that our community is healthy, our economy is vibrant, and our city is strong. In this video that you're about to see, you'll know why I'm not the only one who believes that Roseville is a great place to be. Now, please enjoy the video.
I talked to somebody in Southern California not too long ago. He said, everybody knows moving to Roseville. What's there?
The first thing that comes to my mind when I think of Roseville is community.
I love the people.
I feel like we're a very tight-knit community.
I love Roseville because it truly gave me the opportunities to succeed.
People are so open to helping you grow.
I grew up here in Roseville. I run a business here. I'm raising a family here. And I love that I can do both of those things in Roseville.
I'm comfortable both raising my daughter and growing my career in such a welcoming community.
The schools are fantastic.
I love the school system. I appreciate that I don't have to put my son in private school. He gets a really great education right here in Roseville.
I love the old neighborhoods in Roseville.
The neighborhoods are fabulous. Our neighborhood in particular, everybody stayed. No one's wanted to leave. They've added on to their houses, and Like, we moved across the street to a bigger house just so we could stay in the neighborhood.
We all hang out on our porches, we're all getting together. So we really know not just the neighbors on each side of us, but really everyone up and down the street.
The neighborhoods are safe, they're clean, and they're beautiful.
Roseville is a great location if you enjoy an outdoor lifestyle.
I think the fact that the city of Roseville has invested so much into making recreation affordable to families is just an awesome opportunity for children and adults to stay active.
I love that Roseville takes a broad look at health and recognizes that health is not only what happens in the doctor's office, but parks and civic amenities and community connections. And that makes Roseville a very nice place to live and work.
What I love about Roseville is it has small town feel with big city stuff.
I love that Roseville has so many great places to shop. We have wonderful live theater, and our downtown area is quickly becoming the destination in the city.
Super interesting to be able to watch everything happen downtown.
Living in downtown Roseville, it's easy to meet our friends. We can walk to the bars, to the restaurants.
And we really enjoy going to all the events. We like going to see the restaurants as they come in, and really everything changing in just a dramatic way.
It's not just the people, it's the people who support the people. We've got a great city government, we've got great city services.
The mayor and the city councilor are easily accessible. By listening to us, the citizens, they do take into account our needs and our concerns.
When people ask, what are you gonna do? I say, I'm gonna move back to Roseville. I love it, there's so much to do.
And we have so many things right around us that make it just a fantastic place to have a home.
I think it was always a great place, but I think it's just gotten better and better over the years.
It's been my home for 21 years, and I think it will be my home for the rest of my life.
Actually, my favorite thing in Roseville is just to be here.
And that's
why I
love Roseville.
And that's why I love Roseville.
And that's why I love Roseville too. Thanks for coming. This concludes our State of the City address. Thank you again to Roseville Toyota, John L. Sullivan. Thank you so much for hosting. And thank you for O'Sully's Cafe, the wonderful food that they provided. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you so much. And at this time, I would encourage you to all stick around and feel free to buy a new car and drive it home today. All right, thank you again.